Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, let's learn a Python program, that is write a Python program to print the largest of n numbers using while loop. So given the list of n numbers, so you have to find the largest among these n numbers, and you should be using the while loop. So that is a problem statement. So once you find the largest number, so you have to print that onto the standard output. So let's try to solve this. So let me take a length variable and ask a user to enter the n, that is value of n. So that means that is a list length. So let's use length and use the input function call to ask a user to enter value of n. So once the user enters the n, so it will be of a string type. So let's convert it into an integer type. So once we are done asking a user to enter the value of n, so we have to take a list, that is an empty list, and keep asking a user to enter n numbers. So let's take a list variable, that is numbers, and initialize it to an empty list. So we'll be using the while loop to ask a user to enter the n numbers. So generally I'll be using the for loop, but here instead of for loop, so I'll be using while loop and asking a user to enter n numbers, and I'll be filling this. So in order to use a while loop, so you have to initialize, check the condition, and increment. So let's take a index variable and initialize it to 0. So let's use a while loop to iterate up to the list length and keep asking a user to enter a number. So let's use while loop, that is while index is less than the length, that is list length. So you keep iterating from 0 to the list length and asking a user to enter a number. So in order to ask a user, so let's use input function call again, and let's take a temp variable to store the user input and use the input function call, and let's say enter a number. So once the user enters, so it will be of string type. So let's convert it into a integer type over here. So you can also use a floating point type, so based on your requirement. So I'll be using an integer type over here. And once we get a temp value, so we need to append this to the numbers. So let's take a list variable and append it using the built-in function, that is numbers.append. So we need to append the temp value to the list. So once we append the given number from the user, so we need to use the incrementation. So let's take a index variable, index plus equals to 1. So this while loop keeps repeating until the list length and keeps asking a user to enter a number. So this is a method to ask a user to enter the list into your programming, that is number list. So once we are done accepting n numbers, so we have to find the largest among these number. So let's take a largest variable and set it the first element, that is the index of 0, as the largest. So based on that, we'll be comparing all the items present in the n numbers. So let's assume the largest is the first number, that is numbers of 0. So the index of 0 is the first, that is considered as largest. So now we need to iterate all the numbers present in the list and use the while loop to check the largest among the n numbers. So let's take a index variable. So as I told, while loop we need to have first is initialization, then check the condition, and then incrementation. So let's use initialize the index, and same again. So let's use the index is less than the length. So let me copy paste this, and we have to compare the index element with the largest. So let's use a if statement to check if, that is numbers of index is that is greater than the largest. So we are comparing the index value is greater than the largest. So then largest will become the numbers of index. So that is a index value. So let's swap it. That is largest is equals to numbers of index. So that is a index value. Yeah, so we need to keep incrementing the index while the comparison is going on. That is index plus equals to 1. Yeah, so once the while loop completes, so largest among n numbers will be stored in this variable. So let's use a print function call to print the largest among the n numbers. So I'll be using the print function, and let's say largest among n numbers is, let's give colon, and here let's print the total, sorry, the largest value. Yeah, so this is a variable. Yeah, so this is a complete Python program to print the largest of n numbers using the while loop. So I'll be using while loop to accept n numbers as well as finding the largest among n numbers. So I have used while loop. Yeah, so let me execute this and let me show you how it works. Yeah, so here enter the value of n. So I have 5 items in my list. Let's give 1, 3, 5, 4 and 2. So you can see largest among these numbers is 5. So you can see over here that is a 5 value, that is middle element is the largest. So let me close it. So let me rerun it. And here let's give again 5. Let's give 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So you can see it has printed the largest as 5 again. Closing it. So let me execute it again. Let's give again 5. Let's give 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. So you can see largest among n numbers is 5. That is the first item. Yeah, so this is a complete Python program to print the largest of n numbers using the while loop. So I'll give this code in the description of this video. So that's it in this video. Hope you liked it. Thank you for watching. Bye.